because we're live.
Oh.
Hold on a second. I'll tell you after. Hold on, it's loading.
Live so it can get deleted.
Yeah, so it won't get deleted since we're live. Oh, let me just mute this shit. So, hello, welcome to our reading of Romeo and Juliet. We have a lovely cast of people here. And let's just get to it because we've had some technical delays. And I'm not even sure what the fuck. Jillian, take it away.
All right. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. Whole misadventures, piteous overthrows, do with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. The which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Scene 1, Verona, a public place. Enter Samson and Gregory of the House of Capulet, armed with swords and bucklers.
Gregory, oh my word, will not carry coals.
No, for then we should be colliers.
I mean, and we be in Kohler, we'll draw.
Aye, while you live, draw your neck out, oh, the collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away.
A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's.
That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
True, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his maids to the wall.
The quarrel is between our masters and us their men.
'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids and cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it in sense thou they feel.
Me they shall feel well while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
'Tis well thou art not fish. If thou hadst been poor John. Draw thy tool. Here comes two of the house of Montague.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will be back thee.
How? Turn thy back and run.
Fear me not.
No, marry, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin.
I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare. I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it.
Enter Abraham and Balthazar.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side. If I say aye.
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. But I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
If you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir.
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow.
They fight. Enter Benvolio.
Heart fools, put your swords, you know what you do.
Beats down their swords. Enter Tybalt.
What? Art thou drawn amongst these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, and look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace, but put thy sword or manage it part these men with me.
What? Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at thee, coward.
They fight. Enter several of both houses, who join the fray. Then enter citizens with clubs.
Clubs, bills, and partisans, strike, beat them down. Down with the Capulets, down with the Montagues.
Enter Capulet in his gown and Lady Capulet.
Karina.
I'm Lady Capulet.
Yeah, and Travis.
Wait,
Where am I? Thou villain Capulet?
A little higher.
What
Higher?
page
Oh,
four?
What
Enter
is this?
Capulet in his gown.
oh, okay, hold on. Oh, that's weird. Hold on. Ah, what noise is this? Give me my sword. Give me my long sword. Ho!
a crutch, a crutch. Why call you it for a sword?
My sword, I say, old Montague, is come and flourish his blade in spite of me.
Enter Montague and Lady Montague.
Thou villain Capulet, hold me not. Let me go.
Thou shalt not stir a foot to seek a foe. Enter Prince with attendants.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor-stained steel. Why they not here? What ho, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your personous rage, with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture from those bloody hands. Throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred an airy ward, by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments to wield old partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon. To know our further pleasure is this case. To old free town, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Exeunt all but Montague, Lady Montague, and Benvolio.
Who sent this ancient quarrel new abroach? Speak, nephew, were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours close fighting ear. I did approach. I drew to part them in the instant came the fiery Tybalt with his sword prepared, which as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head and cut the winds, who nothing hurt whence thou hissed him in scorn while we were interchanging thrusts and blows. Come more and more fought on part and part, till the prince came who parted either part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped-eyed sun peered forth the golden widow of the east. A troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where, underneath the grove of sycamore, the westward roadeth from the city side. So early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was aware of me, and stole into the cover of the wood. Measuring his affections by my own, thou most bruised when they're most alone. Persuade my humor, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. But also soon as the all-cheering sun should in the furthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed, away from light steals home him my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks far daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must this humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Have you informed him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends. But he, his own affection's counselor, is to himself, I will not say how true, but to himself so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery, as is the bud bit with an envious worm. ere he can spread his sweet leaves to the air or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would all willingly give cure as no.
Enter Romeo.
See where he comes, so please you, step aside. I'll know his grievance or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stay. To hear true shift, come, madam, let away. Let's away.
Exeunt Montague and Lady Montague.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
New struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was what saddest lengths Romeo's hours.
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out.
Of love?
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all before. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love or loving hate? O anything of nothing first create. O heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep, that is not what it is. This love I feel that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz I'd rather weep.
Good heart at what?
At thy heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of thine. This love that thou hast shown doth add more grief to too much of mine own. Love is a smoke raised with the fume of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed, a sea nourished with lovers' tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuz.
Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me in sadness who is that you love.
What, shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan, why no, but sadly tell me who.
Bid a sick man in sadness make his will. A word ill urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I am so near where I'm supposed you loved.
A right good mark, man. And she's fair, I love.
Ah, right, fair mark, fair cuz. Is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. Shall not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Diane's wit, and in strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak childish bow she lives unharmed. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bide the encounter of assailing eyes, nor ope her lap to saint seducing gold. She is rich in beauty, only poor that when she dies with beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste?
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. For beauty starved with her severity cuts beauty off from all posterity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair. To merit bliss by making me despair, she hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me, forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite, in question more. These happy masks that kiss fair ladies' brows, being black, put us in mind, they hide the fair. He that is struck and blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in death.
Exeunt. Scene 2, a street. Enter Capulet, Paris, and servant.
But Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike, and 'tis not hard, I think, for men as old as we keep to the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er where I have said before, My child is yet stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we think have her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she our happy mother's maid.
And too soon married are those so early made. The earth had swallowed all my hopes but she. She is the hopeful lady of my earth. But whom her gentle Paris get her heart, my will to her consent is but a part, and she agree with her scope of choice, lies my constant and fair according voice. This night I hold an accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love and you among the store. Once more welcome makes my numbers more at poor house. Look to behold this night, earth trending stars that make dark heaven light. Such comfort as do lusty young men feel when well appeared April on the heel of limping winter heads. Even such delight amongst fresh female buds shall you this night. Inherent at all my house, hear all and see. And like her most, this merit most all she be, which one more view of many mind being one, may state in number, though in reckoning none. Come, go with me.
2 servant giving a paper.
Go, Sirrah, trudge about, through fair Verona, far those persons out, whose names are written there, and to them say, my house, and welcome on their pleasure stay.
Exit Capulet and Paris.
Oh, find them out whose names are written here. It is written that a shoemaker should meddle with his yard, and the tailor with his last, the fisher with his pencil, and the painter with his nets. But I am sent to find those persons whose names are here writ, and can never find what names the written person hath here writ. I must to the learned. In good time.
Enter Benvolio and Romeo.
Not man on fire burns out another's burning, on pains is lessened by another's anguish, turn gritty and be hold by backward turning, on desperate grief, curs with another languish take, though some new infection thine eye, and the rank poison of old will die.
Your plaintive leaf is excellent for that.
For what, I pray thee?
For your broken shin.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented, and God den, good fellow.
God get you den. I pray, sir, can you read?
I, mine own fortune in my misery.
Perhaps you have learned that without book. But I pray, can you read anything you see?
I, if I know the letters and the language.
You say honestly. Rest you merry.
Stay, fellow, I can read.
Reads.
Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, Count Anselm and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vitravio, Signor Placentio, and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, my uncle Capulet, his wife, and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, Livia, Signor Valencio, and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio, and the lively Helena. The fair assembly, whither should they come?
Up.
Whither?
To supper, to our house.
Whose house?
Oh, my master's.
Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great rich Capulet, and if you be not of the house of Montagues, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry.
Exit.
At this same ancient feast of Capulets sups there far Rosaline, whom thou so lovest, with all the married beauties of Verona. Go hither, and with untainted eye compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee thy swine as a crow.
When the devout religion of mine eye maintains such falsehood, then turn tears to fires, and these, who often drown, could never die. Transparent heretics be burnt for liars. One fairer than my love, the all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
Tot, you saw her fair, no one else being by herself, poised with herself in either eyes, but in that crystal scales let her be weighed, your lady love against some other maid, that I will show you shining at this feast, and she shall scant show, well, that now shows best.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Exit. Scene 3, a room in Capulet's house. Enter Lady Capulet and nurse.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now, by my maidenhead, at 12-year-old, I bade her come. What, lamb? What, ladybird? God forbid, where's this girl? What, Juliet?
Oh
Enter
no!
Juliet.
How now? Who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, get leave for a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter of pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
I'll lay 14 of my teeth, and yet to my teeth be it spoken, I have but 4. She is not 14. How long is it now to Lamastide?
A fortnight and all days.
Even or odd, of all days in the year, come Lamasive at night, she shall be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But as I said, on Lammas Eve night, she shall be 14. That shall she marry. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I shall never forget it. Of all the days of the year, upon that day, for I had then laid wormwood to my dug, sitting in the sun under the dove house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain, but as I said, when did it taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dug and felt it bitter? Pretty full to see it touchy and fall out with the dug. Shake quoth the dove house, 'twas no need, I trow, to me bid trudge. And since that time it is 11 years, for then she could stand alone, nay, by the road. She could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke her brow. And then my husband, God be with his soul, was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holiday, the pretty wench left crying, saying, Aye, to see now how a jest shall come about. I warrant, and I should live 1,000 years. I should never forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel, quoth he, and pretty full, it stinted and said, Aye.
Enough of this. I pray thee hold thy peace.
Yes, madam. Yet I cannot choose but laugh, to think it should leave crying and say aye. And yet I warrant it had upon its brow a bump as big as young cockerel's stone, a parlous knock, and it cried bitterly, Yea, quoth my husband, false upon thy face. Thou wilt fall backward when thou comes to age. Wilt thou not, Jewel? It stinted and said aye.
Instant thou too, I pray thee, nurse, I say.
Peace, I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou was the prettiest babe that I e'er nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Marry that. Marry is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
An honor, were not I thine only nurse, I would say thou hast sucked wisdom from thy teeth.
Well, think of marriage now, younger than you. Here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers by my count. I was your mother much upon these years, that you are now a maid. Thus then, in brief, the valiant prayers seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady, such a man as all the world, why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not seen such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight with there was beauty's pen. Examine every merry lineament, and see how one another lends content, and what obscure in this fair volume lies. Find written in the margin of his eyes, thus precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. The fish lives in the sea, and this much pride, for fair without the fair within to hide. That book in many eyes doth share the glory, that in gold clasps locks in the golden story. So shall you share all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less, nay, bigger, women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris' love?
I look to like if nothing like you move, but no more deep lion dart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Enter a servant.
Madam, the guests are come, supper served up, you called, my young lady asked for, the nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything is in extremity. I must hence to wait, I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee.
Exit servant.
Go, girl. Seek happy nights to happy days.
Exit. Scene 4, a street. Enter Romeo, Mercutio, Benvolio with 5 or 6 maskers, torchbearers, and others.
What shall this speech bespoke for our excuse, or shall we on without apology?
The date is out of such proximity. We will have no Cupid hoodwinked with a scarf bearing a Tartar's painted bow of lath, scaring ladies like a crow keeper, nor no without book prologue faintly spoke after the prompter for our entrance. But let them measure us by what they will. We'll measure them a measure and be gone.
Give me a torch, I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me, you have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground, I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common bound.
I am too sore unpierced with his shaft to soar with his light feathers and so bound. I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink it, should you burden love, to great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like a thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in, a visor for a visor. What care's eye doth quote deformities? Here are the beetle brows shall blush for me.
Come back, knock, and enter, and no sooner in, but every man betake him to his legs.
A torch for me, let wantons light of heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels, for I am proverbed with a grandsire's phrase. I'll be a candle holder and look on, the game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
Done's the mouse, the constable's own word. If thou art done, will draw thee from the mire of this sir reverence love, wherein thou sticks up to ears, can we burn daylight ho?
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay, we waste our lights in vain like lamps by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgment sits 5 times in that ear, once in our 5 wits.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamed a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
The dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they dream things true.
Oh, then I see, Queen Mob, hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in the shape no bigger than an agate stone, on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies, athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spider's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider's webs, the colors of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, her wagoner, a small gray-coated gnat, not so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner's squirrel or gold grub. Time out, oh mine, the fairies' coachmakers, and in the state she gallops night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love, or the courtiers' knees that dream on courses straight, or your lawyer's fingers who straight dream on fees, or your lady's lips who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry mad with blisters plagues, because their breaths of sweetmeats tainted are. Sometimes she gallops o'er a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out a suit. And sometimes comes she with a tight pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as a lies asleep. Then dreams he of another benefice. Sometimes he's driven o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of helps 5 fathom deep, and then anon, drums in his ear, at which he starts and wakes. At being thus frighted, swears a prayer or two and sleeps again. This that very mab, that plaits the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf fox in the full sluttish hairs, which once untangle much misfortune bows. This the hag when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them the first bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she.
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkest of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and being angered puffs away from thence, turning his face to the dew dropping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper's done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives. Some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date. With this night's revels and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen.
Strike drum.
Exit. Scene 5, a hall in Capulet's house. Musicians waiting. Enter serving men with napkins.
Sorry, forgot I was doing that. Where's Pot Pen that he helps not to take away? He shift a trencher, he scrape a trencher.
Sorry. When good manners shall lie in all one or two man's hands, and they unwashed too, 'tis a foul thing.
Away with the joint stools, remove the court cupboard, look to the plate. Good thou, save me a piece of marchpane, and thou lovest me, let the porter let son Grindstone and Neil, Anthony and Potpan.
Aye, boy, ready.
You are looked for and called for, asked for and sought for in the great chamber.
We cannot be here and there too. Surely, boys, be brisk a while, and the longer liver take all.
Enter Capulet with Juliet and others of his house, meeting the guests and maskers.
Welcome, gentlemen, ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns will have bout with you. And my mistresses, which of you will now deny of dance? She that makes dainty, she, I'll swear, hath horns, and I come near ye now. Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have sworn a visor and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You're welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play a hall, give room and foot it, girls.
Music plays and they dance. It's still Capulet.
I know.
That's still you.
I know. I'm going. More lights, you knaves, and turn the tables up and quench thy fire room is grown too hot. Sirrah, this unlooked for sport comes well. Nay, sit, good cousin Capulet. For you and I passed our dance. How long 'tis since yourself and I were in a mask?
Our lady, 30 years.
What, man? 'Tis not as much. 'Tis since the nuptials of Lucio come Pentecost as quickly as it will. Some 5-20 years, and then we mask.
'Tis more, 'tis more. His son is elder, sir. His son is 30.
Will you tell me that his son was by ward 2 years ago?
To a serving man.
What lady is that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place upstand, and touching hers make blessed rude my rude hand. Did my heart love till now, forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
This by his voice should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. What dares the slave come hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now, by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
Why, how no, kingsman, wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe. a villain that is hither come in spite, to scorn our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
Yet 'tis he, that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle coz. Let me alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman, and to say truth, Verona brags of him to be virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for the wealth of all the town here in my house do him disparagement. Therefore be patient, take no note of him. 'Tis in my will, the which if thou respect, show a fair presence and put off these frowns and ill beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits when such a villain is a guest. I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What good man boy? He shall go to. Am I the master here, or you? Go, you'll not endure him. Go shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You will set a cock a hoop. You'll be the man.
My uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go to. You are a saucy boy, so indeed. The trick may chance to scath you. I know what. You must contrary me. Marry, 'tis time. Well said, my hearts. You are a prim cock's go. Be quiet, or more light, for shame. I'll make you quiet. What cheery my hearts.
Patience, perforce with willful color meeting, makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitter gall.
Exit. To Juliet.
I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine. The gentle fine is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then dear saint, let lips do what hands do, they pray. Grant thou lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by yours, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from thy lips, trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter, that you talked withal. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Dear account, my life is my foe's dead.
Away, begone, the sport is the best.
Aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling, foolish banquet towards us. Is it even so? Why then, I thank you all, I thank you. Honest gentlemen, good night. More torches here. Come on then, let's go to bed. Ah, Sarah, by my fay, it waxes late. I'll my rest.
Exit all but Juliet and nurse.
Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman?
The son and heir of old Tiberio.
What's he that now is going out of door?
Mary, that I think be young Petruchio.
What's that he follows there? That would not dance?
I know not.
Go ask his name. If he be married, my grave is likely to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love, sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and too known too late. Oh God, prodigious birth of love, it's to me that I must have loathed the enemy.
What's this? What's this?
Act 2.
Oh no, there's still the
No? Okay. This was
line next. The scene continues to the right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, a rhyme I'd learned even now, of one I danced withal.
One calls within Juliet.
Anon, anon, come, let's get away. The strangers are all gone.
Exit. Act 2. Prologue. Enter chorus.
Now old desire doth in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. That fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair. Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charm of looks, but to his foe supposed he must complain, and she still loves sweet bait from fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such woes as lovers used to swear. And she as much in love, her means much less, to meet her new beloved anywhere, but passion lends them power, time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme sweet.
Exit. Scene 1. A lane by the wall of Capulet's orchard. Enter Romeo.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find they sent her out.
He climbs the wall and leaps down within it. Enter Benvolio and Mercutio.
Romeo, my cousin Romeo.
He is wise, and on my lie, hath stolen from home to bed.
He ran this way and leaped this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure to Romeo, humor's madman, passion, lover, appear down the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Cry, but I me, pronounce but ove and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus one fair word, one nickname for her pure blind son and heir. Young Adam Cupid, he that shot so trim. When King Cophetua loved the beggar maid, he heareth not, he stareth not, he moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg and quivering thigh, and the demosness and their adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appearest to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him. Thou would anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress' circle of some strange nature, letting it there stand, till she had laid it and conjured it down. That were some spite, my invocation, fair and honest, and in his mistress's name, I conjure only but to raise up him.
Come, he hath hid himself amongst these trees to be consorted with humorous night. Blind is his love, and his best benefits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now will he sit under a medlar tree, and wish his mistress were that kind of fruit, as maids called meddlers when they laugh alone. Romeo that she were, oh that she were, and open, etc. Thou a popperin pear, Romeo good night, I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him there that means not to be found.
Exit. Scene 2. Capulet's orchard. Enter Romeo.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound.
Juliet appears above at a window.
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou her maid art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady, oh, it is my love, oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold, 'tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars. As daylight doth a lamp, her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Hi, me.
She speaks. Speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being over my head as is a winged messenger of heaven, unto the white upturned wandering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I shall no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself not a Montague. What's a Montague? It is neither hand nor foot, nor arm nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, but be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So if Romeo would, where he would not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus be screened in night, so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How canst thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place of death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do that dares love attempt, therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not look for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight. And but thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death prolonged, wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundst thou this place?
By love, who first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. I am no pilot, yet wert thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea, I would adventure for such merchandise.
Thou know'st the mask of the night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek. For that which thou hast heard me speak tonight, fain I would dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell complaint, dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word, yet if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false at lovers' perjuries, then say Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou think I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and there thou mayst think my behavior light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst here ere I was ware. My true love's passion, therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love which the dark night has so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconsistent moon, that monthly changes in her circle, unless thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all, or if thou wilt swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I believe thee.
My heart's dear love.
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning, which doth cease to be air, and one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. This bud of love, my summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when we next meet. Good night, good night. A sweet repose and rest come thy heart as that within my breast.
Wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would where to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank, and to give thee again, and yet I wish for the thing that I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Nurse calls within.
I hear some noise within, dear love. Adieu. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, and I will come again.
Exit above.
Oh, blessed, blessed night, I am afeard. Being a night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
Re-enter Juliet above.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow. By one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rites, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Within.
Madam,
I come anon, but if thou mean'st not well, I do beseech thee.
madam.
By and by I come, to cease thy suit and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
Exit above.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes toward love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love toward school with heavy looks.
Retiring. Re-enter Juliet above.
Hist, Romeo, hist. Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure his tassel gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse, and may not speak aloud, else I would tear the cave where echo lies, and make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine, with repetition of my Romeo's name.
It is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo,
My dear,
at what clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
at the hour of 9.
I will not fail 'tis 20 years till then. I forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget. To have thee stand there remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay, to have thee still forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning, I would have thee gone, and yet no further than a wanton's bird, who let its hop a little from her hand like a poor prisoner in a twisted gyves, and with a silk thread plucks it back again, so loving, jealous of his liberty.
I would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I, yet I should kill thee with as much cherishing. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I should say good night till it be morrow.
Exit above.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father sell, his help to crave, my dear hap to tell.
Exit. Scene 3, Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar Lawrence with a basket.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light and freckled darkness like drunkard wheels from forth day's path and Titan's fiery wheels. Now ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dewy to dry. I must upfill this weezer cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers, the earth that's nature's mother is her tomb. What is her burying grave that is her womb? And from her womb children of divers kind, we sucking on her natural bosom find. Many virtues excellent, none but for some and yet all different. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. For not so vile that on the earth do live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so good, but strain from the fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turns vice, being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified. Within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence and medicine power. For this, being smelt with that par cheers each part, being tasted, slays all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still, in man as well as herbs, grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker deaths eat up that plant.
Enter Romeo.
Tomorrow, father.
Benedict, what early tongue so sweet salute me? Young son, it argues a distempered head, so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps his watch in every old man's eye, and where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain doth couch his limbs, their gold sleep doth reign. Therefore, thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused by some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon, sir. Wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline? My ghostly father, no, I have forgot that name and that name's woe.
That's my good son, but where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou asketh me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. Both our remedies within thy help and holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steeds my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined save what thou must combine by holy marriage, when and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosalind, who thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies, not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. How much salt water thrown away in waste, to seasoned love, that of that do not taste. The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old groans ring, yet in my ancient ears. Lo, here upon the cheek, the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If ever thou waste thyself, and those woes thine, thou and those woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chides me off for loving Rosaline,
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
and bats me very love.
Not in a grave, to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee chide not, she whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well. Thy love did read by rote, and could not spell. But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In one respect, all thy assist be. For this alliance may so happy prove, to run your households, rancour, to pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Exit. Scene 4, a street. Enter Benvolio and Mercutio.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's, I spoke with his man.
Ah, that same pale-hearted, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kingsman of old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter, master. How he dares being darred.
Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead. Stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the air with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind boy's butt shaft, and he is a man to encounter Tybalt.
Why? What is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats, I can tell you. Oh, he's a courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion, rests me his minimum rest. 1, 2, and third in your bosom, the very butcher of a silk button, a duelist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause, the immortal Pasado, the Ponte Reverso, the high.
The what?
The pox of such antic lisping, affecting fantasticos, these new tuners of accents. By Jesu, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Why is not this a lamentable thing, grandshire, that we should be thus afflicted with these strange flies, these fashion mongers, these prodromies, who stand so much on the new form that they cannot at ease on the old bench. Oh, their bones, their bones.
Enter Romeo.
Here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo.
Without his roe, like a dried herring, flesh, how art thou fishified? Now is he for the numbers. The Batart flowed in. Laura to his lady was but a kitchen wench. Mary she had better love to be rhyme her. Dido a dowdy, Cleopatra a gypsy, Helen a hero, buildings and harlots. This be a grey eye or so, but not to the purpose. Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit barely last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio, my business was great, and in such a case as mine a man may strain courtesy.
That's as much as to say, such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hams.
Meaning to curtsy.
Thou hadst most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Why then is my pump well flowered?
Well said. Follow me as just now thou that hast worn out thy pump. That when the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain after the wearing soul singular.
A single soul jest solely singular for the singleness.
Come between us, good Benvolio. My wits faint.
Switch and spurs, or I'll cry a match.
Nay, if thou wouldst run the wild goose chase, I have done, for thou hast more of the wild goose in one thy would stand, I am sure. I have in my whole 5. Was I with you there for the goose?
Thou wast never with me for anything when thou wast not there for the goose.
I will bite thee by the ear for that jest.
Nay, good goose, bite not.
Thy wit is a very bitter sweeting. It is the most sharp sauce.
Is it not well served into a sweet goose?
Oh, here's a wit of Chevron that stretches from an inch narrow to an ell broad.
I stretch it out for that word broad, which added to the goose proves thee far and wide a broad goose.
Why is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art, by art as well as by nature, for this dribbling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down, hide his bauble in a hole.
Stop there, stop there.
Thou darest me to stop in my tail against the hair.
Thou wouldst else have made thy tail large.
Oh, thou art deceived. I would have made it short, for I was come to the whole depth of my tail, and meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Here's goodly gear.
Enter Nurse and Peter.
A sail, a sail.
Two, a shirt and a smock.
Peter,
Anon.
my fan, Peter.
Good Peter, to hide her face for her fans, the fair face.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good den, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good den?
This no less. I tell you for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you, what a man are you?
One gentlewoman that God hath made for himself to mar.
But my troth, it is well said, for himself to mar, quoth they. Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
You say well.
Yea, yea, is the worse well? Very well took a faith. Wisely, wisely.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
Abad, 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 so ho.
What hast thou found?
No hair, sir, unless a hair, sir, in a Lenten pie that is something stale and or it be spent. An old hair whore, an old hair, and an old hair whore is very good meat in Lent, but a hair that is whore is too much for a score when in whore's ere it be spent. Romeo, will you come to your fathers? We'll to dinner differ.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady, farewell. Lady, lady, lady.
Exit Mercutio and Benvolio.
Mary, farewell. I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his ropery?
A gentleman, nurse, that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And if speak anything against me, I'll take him down, and a were lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I'll find those that shall. Scurvy knave, I am none of his flirt gills, I am none of his scansmates, and thou must stand by too, and suffer every knave to use me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you a pleasure. If I had my weapon, should quickly have been out, I warrant you, I dare draw as soon as another man, if I see occasion in a good quarrel and the law on my side.
Now, afore God, I'm so vexed that every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave, pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bade me inquire you out. What she bade me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell ye, if ye should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if you should deal double with her, truly it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and a very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Good heart, and I, faith, I will tell her as much. Lord, Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse, that dost not mark me?
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there shall she at Friar Lawrence's cell be shrived and married. Here is for thy pains.
No, truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir, well, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high top gallant of my joy must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell, be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell, commend me to thy mistress.
Now God in heaven bless thee. Hark you, sir.
What sayest thou, my dear nurse?
Is your man secret? Did you ne'er hear say, two may keep counsel, putting one away?
I warrant thee, my man's as true as steel.
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady. Lord, Lord, when 'twas a little prating thing, oh, there's a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay a knife aboard. But she, good soul, has as lief say a very toad as see him. I anger her sometimes and tell her that Paris is the properer man, but I'll warrant you, when I say so, she looks as pale as any clout in the versal world. Doth not Rosemary and Romeo both begin with a letter?
I, nurse, what of that, both with an R?
Ah, mocker, that's the dog's name. R is for the, no, it begins with some other letter, and she hath the prettiest sentence of you and Rosemary, that it would do good to hear it.
Commend me to thy lady.
Aye, 1,000 times.
Exit Romeo.
Peter,
Anon.
Peter, take my fan and go before in a pace.
Exit. Scene 5, Capulet's Orchard. Enter Juliet.
Which requires me to get off Facebook. The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In a half hour, she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's heralds should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over luring hills. Therefore, to nimble pentant doves draw love. And therefore hath the wind swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of the stage journey from 9 till 12. There's 3 long hours, yet she is not come. Had affections and warm, youthful blood, she would be as swift as motion as ball, but my words would brandy her to my sweet love and his to me, but old folks, my fame as they were dead, unwieldy slow, heavy and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes.
Enter nurse and Peter.
Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away.
Peter, stay at the gate.
Exit Peter.
Now, good news, sweet nurse. Oh Lord, why look so sad? Now news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good thou shamest the music of sweet news, be plain it to me with so sour a face.
I am aweary, give me leave a while. Fee, how my bones ache, what a jaunt I have had.
I would thou hast my bones, and then thy news. Nay, come, pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Jesus, what haste. Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath? To say to me that thou art out of breath, the excuse thou dost make in this delay is no longer the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either. I'll stay the circumstances. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you've made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo, no, not he, though his face be better than any man's. Yet his leg excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him, as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No, but all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Lord, how my head aches. What a head I have. It beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. My back on the other side. Oh, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
Faith, I am sorry thou art not well. Sweet nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous and a kind and a handsome and I warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where's my mother? Why, she's within. Where should she be? How oddly thou replies. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward do your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got to leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church, and must be another way, to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, all to dinner, hie you to the cell.
Hie to high fortune, honest nurse. Farewell.
Exit. Scene 6, Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar Lawrence and Romeo.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not?
Amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love-devouring death do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumphs die, like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume, the sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite, Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives, as tardy as too slow.
Enter Juliet.
Here comes the lady. Oh, so light of foot, will ne'er wear out the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamer that idles in the wanton summer air, and yet not fall, so light in his vanity.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else his thanks too much.
Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit, more rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love has grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half of my wealth.
Come with me, and we will make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate 2 in 1. You gotta get married first.
Exit. Act 3, Scene 1, a public place. Enter Mercutio, Benvolio, page, and servants.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not escape a brawl, for now these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that when he enters the confines of a tavern claps me his sword upon a table and says, God send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second cup draws it on the drawer when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what do?
Nay, and there were 2 such, you should have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Why thou wilt quarrel with a man that hath a hair more, or a hair less in his beard than thou hast, thou wilt quarrel with a man for nuts, having no other reason, but because what eye but such an eye would spy out such a quarrel? Thy heed is as fond of quarrels as an egg is full of meat, and yet thy head hath been beaten as addle as an egg. For quarreling thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street, because he hath weakened thy dog that hath lain sleep in the sun. Didst thou not fall out with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter, with another for tying his new shoes with old ribband, and yet thou wilt tutor me from quarreling.
And I were so apt to quarrel as thou art, any man shall buy the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter?
The fee simple, oh simple.
But my head, here come the Capulets.
By my heel I care not.
Enter Tybalt and others.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good din. A word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us. Couple it with something, make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough for that, sir. And you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consorts with Romeo.
Consort? What thou dost make us minstrels, and thou make minstrels of us. Look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Dance consort.
We talk here in public, hunt of men. Either withdraw unto some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look. Let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure. I.
Enter Romeo.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if we wear your livery. Mary go before the field. He'll be your follower. Your worship in that sense may call him man.
Romeo, the hate I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell, I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore, turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love, and so good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as my own, be satisfied.
O calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Alas, Sakata carries it away. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives, that I mean to make bold withal, and as you shall use me hereafter. Cry beat the rest of the 8. Will you pluck your sword out of his pitcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be out your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Drawing.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, your pasado.
They fight.
Draw Benvolio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly hath forbidden bandying in Verona streets. Hold, Tybalt, good Mercutio.
Tybalt, under Romeo's arm, stabs Mercutio and flies with his followers.
Hurt, plague of both your houses. I'm sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What art thou hurt?
Aye, a scratch. Marry this enough. Where is my page? Go, villain, fetch a surgeon.
Exit page.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
No, it's not so deep as well, nor so wide as the church door, but this is enough. 'Twill serve, ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I am peppered, I warrant for this world. A plague of both your houses. Down's a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your
I
arm.
thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. A plague of both the houses. They have made worms meet of me. I have it, and soundly to your houses.
Exit Mercutio and Benvolio.
Gentlemen, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt that an hour hath been my kinsman. Sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Re-enter Benvolio.
Oh, Romeo, brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which too ultimately here did scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe, the others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph and Mercutio slain, away to heaven, respective lenity and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now.
Re-enter Tybalt.
Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again, that late thou gavest me, for Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou or I, or both must go with him.
O wretched boy, that disconsort him here shall with him hence.
This shall determine that.
They fight. Tybalt falls.
Romeo, away, begone. The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed. The prince will do doom to thee dead, if thou art taken. Hence begone away.
I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou say?
Exit Romeo. Enter citizens and see.
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt that murderer, which way ran he?
There lies that Tybalt.
Up, sir, go with me. I charge thee in the prince's name obey.
Enter Prince attended, Montague, Capulet, their wives, and others.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo, that slew kingsman brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin. Oh, my brother, child. Wait, am I on the right page?
Yep.
Oh, prince, oh, cousin, husband, oh, the blood is spilled. Oh, dear kinsman, prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague. Oh, cousin, oh, cousin.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo that spoke him fair bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged him withal your high displeasure. All this uttered with the gentle breath claim took knees humbled bow. Could you not take trust with unruly spleen, or of Tybalt's deaf to peace? But he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, whom's all as hot turns deadly point to point, and with a martial scorn with one hand beats, cold death aside, and with others sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cries out loud, hold friends, friends apart, and swifter than his tongue. His agile arm beats down his fatal points, and twixt them rushes underneath whom's arm. An envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio, and then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who hadst vowed the newly entertained revenge, and to thy go to thy lightning for ere I could draw to the part them. Wast thou Tybalt slain, and as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly? This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affections make him false. He speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in his black strife, and all those 20 could but kill one life. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, which must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio, who now the price of his dear blood doth owe. Not Romeo, prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes, but what the law should end? The life of Tybalt. And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. But I'll amerce you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste. Else, when he is found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murderers, pardoning those that kill.
Exit. Scene 2, Capulet's orchard. Enter Juliet.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebus's lodging. Such a wagoner as Phaethian would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runaways eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or if left be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match, played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood my unmaiden blood, bathing in my cheeks with thy mantle, till strange love grown bold, think true love acted simple modesty. Come, knight, come, Romeo, come thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whither than now new snow on raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night, give me my Romeo, and when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars. And then he will make the face of the heavens so fine that all the world will be in love with the night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have brought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it. And though I am sold, yet not enjoyed, so tedious this day as does the night come festival before some festival to an impatient child that hath new robes and may not wear them. Oh, here comes my nurse, she brings news. And every tongue that speaks, but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence.
Enter nurse with cords.
Now, nurse, what news? What hast thou there? The cords that Romeo bid thee fetch?
Aye, the cords.
Throws them down.
Ay me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Oh, well, a day, he's dead, he's dead. We are undone, lady, we are undone. Alack the day, he's gone, he's killed, he's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, who would ever thought it? Romeo.
What devil art thou that dost torment me thus? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou I, and that bare foul eye shall poison more than the death-turning eye of Coctrus. I am not I, if there be such an eye, or those eyes shut that make the answer I. If he be slain, say I, or if not, no. Brief sounds determine of my weal or woe.
I saw the wound, I saw it with mine eyes. God save the mark here on his manly breast. A piteous corse, a bloody piteous corse. Pale, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood, all in gore blood. I swooned at the sight.
Oh, break my heart. Poor bankrupt, break at once. To prison eyes ne'er look on liberty. Vile earth to resign. In motion here, and thou, Romeo, press one heavy bier.
Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt, the best friend I had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that I should ever live to see thee dead.
What storm that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered, or is Tybalt dead? My dear loved cousin, or my dear lord? Then dreadful trumpet, sound the general doom. For who is living and those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh God. Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. Alas, the day it did.
Serpent heart hid with a flowering face. Did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Beautiful tyrant, fiend and angelical dove, feathered raven, wolvish, raveny lamb. Despise substance of the divinest show, just opposite with what thou justly seemst, O damned saint and honorable villain. O nature, what canst thou do in hell when thou didst devour the spirit of a fiend in a moral paradise of such sweet flesh? Was ever a book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? O deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous place.
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All perjured, all forsworn, all naught, all dissemblers. Aye, where's my man? Give me some aqua vitae. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shall come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is a shame to sit, for 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned some sole monarch of the universal earth. Oh, what a beast was I to chide at him.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? My poor lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, had mangled it? But wherever for a villain didst thou kill my cousin, that villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back your native stream. Your tributary drops belong to woe, with you mistakenly offer up to joy. My husband lives, that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt's dead, that would leave us slain my husband. All this is comfort, wherefore I weep then. Some word there was worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. I would forget it in fame. But oh, it presses my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead and Romeo banished? That banished, that one word, banished, has slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there, or sour woe delights in fellowship and needily will be ranked with other griefs. Why follow not when she said, Tybalt's dead, thy father or thy mother, nay, or both, which modern limitations might have moved. But with a rear word following Tybalt's death, Romeo is banished? To speak that word. His father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There was no end, no limit, no measure bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my mother and my father? Nurse.
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corpse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears, mine shall be spent. When theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Take up those cords, those poor ropes. You are beguiled, both you and I, for Romeo is exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed, but I, a maid, die maiden widowed. Come cords, come nurse, I'll to my wedding bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maidenhead.
Aye, to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. Hark ye, your Romeo will be here at night. All to him, he is hid at Lawrence's cell.
Oh, find him. Give him this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Exit. Scene 3, Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar Lawrence.
Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Enter Romeo.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment. Be merciful, say death, for exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Then banished is death mistermed, calling death banishment. Thou cuts my head off with a golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
O deadly sin, O rude unthankfulness, thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law, and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They might seize on the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessing from her lips, who even in pure and vestal modesty still blush as thinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not, he is banished. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hast thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden mean of death, no, though ne'er so mean, but banished to kill me? Banished? Friar, the damned use that word in hell, howlings attend it. How hast thou the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend, professed to mingle me with that word banished?
Thou found madman, hear me but speak a word.
Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity, sweet milk, philosophy, to comfort thee. Thou art not banished.
Yet banished? Hang up philosophy unless philosophy can make a Juliet, displant a town, reverse a prince's doom. It helps not, it prevails not. Talk no more.
Oh, then I see that madmen have no fears, no ears.
How should they when that wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet, thy love, and hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished, then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as do I do now, speaking the measure of an unmade grave.
Knocking within.
Arise. One knocks, good Romeo, hide thyself.
Not I, unless the breath of heart-sick groans mislike enfold me from the searching eyes.
Knocking.
Hark, how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, arise. Thou wilt be taken. Stay a while. Stand up. Unto my study. By and by, God's will, when simpleness is this. I come, I come.
Knocking.
Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will?
You're
Within.
muted.
Let me come in and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Oh, welcome then.
Enter nurse.
Oh, holy friar. Oh, tell me, holy friar, where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
Oh, he is even in my mistress's case, just in her case. Oh, woeful sympathy, piteous predicament. Even so lies she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up, stand, and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall into so deep an oh?
Nurse,
Ah, sir. Well, death's the end of all.
speakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Does she not think me an old murderer now I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood removed but little from her own? Where is she, and how doth she? And what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then falls down again.
As if that name shot from the deadly level of a gun did murder her, as that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Drawing his sword.
Hold thy desperate hand. Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art. Thy tears are womanish. Thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast, unseemly woman in a seeming man, or ill-beseeming beast in seeming both. Thou hast amazed me by my holy order. I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself? And slay thy lady too that lives in thee? By doing damned hate upon thyself. Why railst thou on thy birth, the heaven and earth? Since birth and heaven and earth, all three do meet in thee at once, which thou at once wouldst lose. Fie. Thou shamest thy shape, thy love, thy wit, which like an usurer aboundst in all, and usest none in that true use indeed, which should bedeck thy shape, thy love, thy wit. Thy noble shape is but a form of wax, digressing from the valor of a man. Thy dear love sworn, but hollow perjury, killing that love which thou hast vowed to cherish. Thy wit, that ornament to shapen love, misshapen in the conduct of them both, like powder in a skitless soldier's flask, is set afire by thine own ignorance, and thou dismembered with thine own difference. What roused thee, man? Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy too. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings lights upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array. But, like a misbehaved, a sullen wench, thou poutest upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love. As was decreed, ascend her chamber hence and comfort her. But look thou, stay not till watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 200,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Go before nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bide her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them a pat unto. Romeo is coming.
Oh, Lord, I could have stayed here all the night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I'll tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Here, sir, a ring she bid me give you, sir. Here you, make haste, for it grows very late.
Exit.
How well my comfort is revived by this.
Go hence. Good night, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day disguised from hence. Sojourn in Mantua. I'll find out your man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap to you, and that chance is here. Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell, and good night.
But that a joy past joy calls out on me. It were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
Exit. Scene 4, a room in Capulet's house. Enter Capulet, Lady Capulet, in Paris.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unlucky that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved our kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die. 'Tis very late, she'll not come down tonight. I promise you, but for your company, I would have been a bed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. May more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here for my son Paris' love, and bid her mark you me on Wednesdays next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday. Well, Wednesday is too soon. Or Thursday let it be. Oh, Thursday tell her shall she be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado, a friend or two, for hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it be thought we held him carelessly, being our kinsman, if we reveal much. Therefore we'll have so half a dozen friends, and there an end. But what you say to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. Thursday be it. Then you go to Juliet, ere you go to bed. Prepare her wife against the wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber, ho. Afore me, it is so very, very late that we may call it an early by and by good night.
Scene 5, Capulet's orchard. Enter Romeo and Juliet above, at the window.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale, and not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight. I know it. It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be to thee this night a torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not be gone.
Let me be taken. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say yon gray is not the morning's eye, 'tis but the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. Nor that is not the lark, whose notes do beat the vaulty heaven so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
It is. Hie hence, begone away. It is the lark that sings out so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Some say the lark and loath-toed change ye eyes. Oh, no, I would say that they had changed voices too. Since arm from arm that voice doth us affray, hunting thee hence with hunts up to the day. Oh, now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Enter nurse to the chamber.
Madam,
Nurse?
Your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary. Look about.
Exit.
Then window, let day in and let life out.
Farewell, farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
He goeth down.
Art thou gone so? Love Lord I, husband and friend. I must fear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Now by this count I shall be much in years ere I behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, thinkst thou shall we ever meet again?
I doubt it not, and all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh God, I have an ill divining soul. Methinks I see thee, now that art below, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou lookst pale.
And trust me, love, in my eye, so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Exit.
Oh, fortune, fortune. All men call thee fickle. If thou art as fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou will not keep him long, but send him back.
Oh, daughter, are you up?
Who's that calls? Is it my lady mother? Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procedures her hither?
Enter Lady Capulet.
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend, which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weeps not so much for his death as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
Villain, madam.
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain, and yet he may many miles asunder. God pardon him, I do with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
Ay, madam, from the reach of these my hands would none I might venge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it, fear not. Then weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua, where the same banished renegade doth live. Shall give him such an unaccustomed drum, that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. And then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I shall never be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed? Madam, if you could find out but a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named, and cannot come to him to wreak the love I bore my cousin upon his body that slaughtered him.
Find out the means, and I'll find such a man. But now I'll tell these joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they? I beseech you, ladyship.
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who to put thee from thy heaviness, hast salted out of a sudden day of joy, that thou expects nor I look not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant young and noble gentleman, the county's Paris at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a wonderful bride.
Oh, by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at his haste that I must wed ere he that should be my husband comes to woo. I pray you, tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet. And when I do, I swear It shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris, that these are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
Enter Capulet and nurse.
When the sun sets, the air doth dizzle dew, but for the sunset of my brother's son, it rains downright. How now, a conduit girl, what is still in tears, evermore showering in one little body, thou confederate sitst bark a sea, a wind? For still thy eyes, which I may call to see, do ebb and flow with tears, then bark thy body is. Sailing in 'tis the flat flood, the winds thy signs, who raging with thy tears, and they with them, without a sudden calm, will overset thy tempest-tossed body. How now, wife? Have you delivered us to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you, wife. How will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her blessed, unworthless as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
No, not proud you have, but thankful you have. Proud I can never be what I hate, but thankful even for hate. That isn't love.
How now, chop logic. What is this? Proud and I thank you? And I thank you not, and yet not proud? Mistress Minion, you thank me no thankings, nor proud me nor prouds? But fiddle your fine points against Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle hither, out your green sickness carrion, out you baggage, you tello face.
Fee, what, are you mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wrench. I tell thee what, get thee to the church on or the Thursday. Or never after look at me in the face, speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch, wife, we scarce thou us bless, that God hath lent us but this only child. But now I see that one is one too much, and that we have a curse in having her, out on her hiding.
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
And why, my lady wisdom, hold your tongue? Good prudence, smatter whither your gossips go.
I speak no treason.
Oh, God, ye Gondon.
May not one speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool. Utter your gravity or gossip's bowl, for her we need it not.
You are too hot.
God's bread, it makes me mad, day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play alone. In company still my care hath been to have her matched, and having now provided a gentleman of noble patronage, of fair dispenses, youthful and noble trained, stuffed as they are with honorable parts, proportioned as one thought would wish a man. And then to have a wretched pooling fool, a whining mapping in her misfortune tender, to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, I pray you pardon me, but as you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graves shall not house with me. Look to think on, I do not use jest. Thursday is near. Lay a hand on heart, advise and you'd mine. I'd give you my friend, and you'd be my hanging, beg, starve, die in the streets. For by soul I'll bear knowledge there, nor what is mine shall ever do thee good. Trust to bethink I'll not be forsworn.
Exit.
So no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief. Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week. If you do not make the bridal bed in that dim monument which Sybil lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh God, oh nurse, How shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, and my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return against earth unless that husband send it me from heaven by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me. Alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Thou hast not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing. That he dares ne'er to come back to challenge you, or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands as it now doth, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish-clout to him, an eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Be shrew my very heart, I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first, or if it did not, your first is dead, or 'twere as good as he were, as living here, and you no use to him.
Speakest thou from my heart?
And from my soul too, or else be shrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my lady I am gone. Have you displeased my father to Lawrence's cell to make confession and to be absolved?
Mary, I will, and this is wisely done.
Exit.
Oh, ancient damnation. Oh, most wicked fiend, it is more to sin to wish me thus forsworn or dispraise my lord with that same tongue, which he hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times. Go, counselor. Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to the friar to know his remedy, or else I fail myself to have power to die.
Exit. Act 4, Scene 1, Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar Lawrence in Paris.
On Thursday, sir? The time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course. I like it not.
Moderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage to stop that inundation of her tears, which too much minded by herself alone may be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
I would. I knew not why it should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes the lady towards my cell.
Enter Juliet.
Happily met, my lady, and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That may be, must be, love, on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
It's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will ye, I'm sure they love me.
If I do so, it will be more of price. Being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory by that, for it was bad enough before their spite.
Thou wrongst it more than tears with that report.
That is no slander, sir, which is a truth. And what I spake, I spake it to my face.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
It may be so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now? Or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield, I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early I will rouse ye. Till then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Exit.
Oh, shut the door, and when thou hast done so, come weep with me. Past hope, past cure, past help.
Ah, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue thee. On Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, friar, thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God, join my heart and Romeo's thou our hands, and ere his hand by thee Romeo sealed shall be the label of another deed. My true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another, this shall slay them both. Therefore, out of thy long experience time, give me some present counsel, or behold, twixt my extremes, and me this bloody knife shall play umpire, arbitrating that which the commission of thy years and art could to no issue of true honor bring. Be not so long to speak, I want to die. What if thou speakst not, speak of remedy?
Hold, daughter, I do spy a kind of hope, which craves as desperate an execution as that is desperate which we would prevent. If rather than marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death, to chide away the shame that copest with death himself to escape from it? And if thou darest, I'll give thee a remedy.
Oh, bid me leap rather than marry Paris from off the battlements of yonder tower, or walk in thievish ways, or bid me lurk with serpents are, chain me with roaring bears, or shut me nightly in a charnel house, or covered quite with dead men's rattling bones, with reeky shapes and yellow chapless skulls, or bid me go into a night-made grave and hide me with a dead man in his shroud. Things that to hear them told have made me tremble. And I do it without fear, to live and an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home. Be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let no thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou of. When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse shall keep his native progress. But surcease, no warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade to paly ashes, thy eyes widows fall. Like death, when he shuts up the day of life, each part deprived of supple government, shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Thou, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the same time, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo, by my letters, know our drift. And hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking. And thy very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua. And this shall free thee from this present shame. If no inconstant toy, nor womanish fear, abate thy valor in acting it.
Give me. Oh, tell me not of fear.
Old, get you gone, be strong and prosperous. In this resolve, I send a friar with speed to Mantua with my letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
Exit. Scene 2, hall in Capulet's house. Enter Capulet, Lady Capulet, nurse, and 2 serving men.
So many guests invite as here are writ.
Exit first servant.
Sirrah, go hire me 20 cunning chefs, cooks,
You shall have no, sir, for I shall try if they can lick their fingers.
How canst thou try them so?
Marry, sir, 'tis an ill cook that cannot lick his own fingers. Therefore, he that cannot lick his fingers goes not with me.
Go, be gone. We shall be much unfurnished for this time. What is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Forsooth.
Well, he may chance to do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she comes from shrift with merry look.
Enter Juliet.
How now, my needs headstrong? Where have you been gaining?
Where have I learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behest, and I am enjoyed by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here. And I beg your pardon. I beseech you, henceforth I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the country. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence's cell, and gave him what becomes love I might, not step over the bounds of modesty.
Why am I glad it on? This is well. Stand up. This is as it should be. Let me see the country. A merry go, I say, and fetch him hither. Now afore God, this reverend holy friar, our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me source such needed ornaments as you think it fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There is time enough.
Go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
Exit Juliet and nurse.
We shall be short in our provision, this now near night.
Tush, I will stir about, and all things be well. I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet, help to deck her up. I'll not to bed tonight. Let me alone. I'll play housewife for this once. What ho! They are all forth. Well, I will walk myself to County Paris to prepare 'em up. Against tomorrow my heart is wondrous light, since the same one-word girl is so reclaimed.
Exit. Scene 3, Juliet's chamber. Enter Juliet and nurse.
Those attires are best, but gentle nurse, I pray thee, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which thou know'st is cross and full of sin.
Enter Lady Capulet.
What are you busy, ho? Need you my help?
No, madam, we've culled such necessaries as are be hopeful for our state tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone. And let this nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all. Is this so sudden business?
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, and thou shalt need.
Exit Lady Capulet and nurse.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up like the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene, I needs must act alone. Come vial. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married tomorrow morning? No. No, this I shall forbid it. I lie thou there.
Laying down her dagger.
What if it be a poison, which the friars subtly hath ministered to have me dead? Lest this marriage should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo? I fear it is, and yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault? To those who foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and their die strangled ere my Romeo comes? If I live, it is not very like. the horrible conceit of death and night together in the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle where, for these many hundreds of years, the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed. Where bloody Tybalt, yet green in earth, lies festering in his shroud, where, as they say, at some hours in the night, spirits resort. Alack, it is not like that I. So early in waking with the loathsome smells and shrieks like mandrakes torn out earth, living mortals, hearing them run mad. Or if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefathers' joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this rage, with some great kinsman bone, as with a club dash out my desperate brains? Oh, look, methinks I see my cousin's goats seeking out Romeo, and did that spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay. Romeo, I come. I drinked this to thee.
She falls upon her bed within the curtains. She falls upon her bed within the curtains. Scene 4, Hall in Capulet's house. Enter Lady Capulet and nurse.
Take these keys and fetch more spices, nurse.
We call for dates and quinces in the pastry.
Enter Capulet.
Come, sir, come, stir, stir, stir. The second cock hath crowed, the curfew bell hath rung. 'Tis 3 o'clock. Look at that baked meats, good Angelica, spare not for the cost.
Go, you cot queen, go. Get you to bed, Faith. You'll be sick tomorrow for this night's watching.
No, not a whit. What? I have watched ere now all night for lesser cause and near been sick.
You've been a mouse in your time, but I will watch you from such watching now.
Exit Lady Capulet and nurse.
A jealous hood, a jealous hood.
Enter 3 or 4 serving men with spits, logs, and baskets.
Now, fellow, what's there? Now, fellow, what's there?
But I know not what.
Make haste, make haste.
Exit first servant.
Sirrah, fetch Dreyer logs. Call Peter. He will show thee where they are.
I have a head, sir, that will find out logs and never trouble Peter for the matter.
Mass
Exit.
and well said, a mere whoresome. Ha! Thou shalt be loggerhead. Good faith 'tis day, the country will be here, with music straight, for so he said he would. I hear him near.
Music within.
Nurse, wife, what ho? What nurse, I say?
Re-enter nurse.
Go awake Juliet, and go grim her up. I'll go chat with Paris. Hi, make haste, make haste. The bridge groom he is already. Make haste, I say.
Exit. Scene 5, Juliet's chamber. Enter nurse.
Mistress, what mistress? Juliet, fast, I warrant her. She, why lamb, why lady? Fee, you slug a bed. Why love, I say. Madam, sweetheart, why bride? What, not a word? You take your pennyworths now, sleep for a week, for the next night, I warrant. The county Paris hath set up his rest, that you shall rest but little. God forgive me. Mary and amen, how sound is she asleep? I must wake her. Madam, madam, madam. Aye, let the county take you in your bed. He'll fright you up, I faith. Will it not be?
Undraws the curtain.
What? Dressed and in your clothes, and down again. I must needs wake you. Lady, 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 alas, alas, help, help, my lady's dead. Oh, well a day that I was ever born. Some aqua vitae, ho, my lord, my lady.
Enter Lady Capulet.
What noise is here?
Oh, lamentable day.
What's the matter?
Look, look, oh, heavy day.
Oh me, my child, my only life. Revive, look up, or I will die with thee. Help, help, call help.
Enter Capulet.
For shame, bring Juliet forth. Her lord is come.
She's dead, deceased. She's dead. Alack the day.
Alack the day, she's dead, she's dead, she's dead.
Ha! Let me see her. Alas, she's cold. Her blood is settled and her joints are stiff. Life in these limbs have long been separated. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Oh, lamentable day.
Oh, woeful time.
Death, and that hath turned hence to make me wail. 'Tis up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Enter Friar Lawrence and Paris with musicians.
Is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never ready to return. O son, the night before thy wedding day hath dead lain with thine wife. There she lies, flower as she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. My daughter hath had wedded. I will die and leave him all. Life, living, all is death's.
Paris.
Paris.
Paris, all is death's.
Do we have a
Have
Paris?
have I thought so long to see this morning's face, and doth it give me such a sight as this?
Gives unhappy, wretch, hateful day, most miserable hour that our time saw, in lasting labor of this pilgrimage. But one poor and loving child, but one thing to rejoice and solace in, and cruel death hath catched it from my sight.
Oh woe, oh woeful, woeful, woeful day, most lamentable day, most woeful day that ever I did yet behold. Oh day, oh day, oh day, oh hateful day, never was seen so black a day as this. Oh woeful day, oh woeful day.
Beguiled, divorced, wronged, spited, slain, most detestable death, by thee beguiled, by cruel, be quite overthrown. O love, O life, not life, but love and death.
Despites distress, hated, mannered, killed, uncomfortable time. Wise comest thou now to murder or solemnity. O child, my soul and not my child. Death art thou, alack, my child is dead, and with my child my joys are buried.
Peace, oh for shame, confusion's cure lives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now heaven hath all, and all the better is it for the maid. Your part in her you could not keep from death, but heaven keeps his part in eternal life. The most you sought was her promotion, for 'twas your heaven she should be advanced, and weep ye now, seeing she is advanced, above the clouds, as high as heaven itself. Oh, in this love, you love your child so ill, that you run mad, seeing that she is well. She's not well married that lives married long, but she's best married that dies married young. Dry up your tears, and stick your rosemary on this fair course, and as the custom is, in all her best array, bear her to church. For thou, fond nature, bids us a lament, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment.
All things that we ordain festival turned from their office to black funeral, our instruments to melancholy bells, our wedding cheer to a sad burial feast, our solemn hinds to solemn dirge change, our bridal flowers serve for a buried corse, and all things change them to the contrary.
Sir, go you in, and madam, go with him. And go, Sir Paris, everyone prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave. The heavens do lure upon you for some ill. Move them no more by crossing their high will.
Exit Capulet, Lady Capulet, Paris, and Friar Lawrence.
Faith, we may put up our pipes and be gone.
Honest, good fellas, I put up. For you well know, this is a pitiful case.
Exit.
Aye, but my troth, this case may be amended.
Enter Peter.
Musicians, oh musicians, heart's ease, oh, and you will have me live, play heart's ease.
Why heart's ease?
Oh musicians, because my heart itself plays, my heart is full of woe. Oh, play me some merry dumb to comfort me.
Not a dump we, 'tis no time to play now.
You will not then?
No.
I will then give it to you soundedly.
Oh, what will you give us?
No money, on my faith, but the Gleek, I will give you the minstrel.
Oh, then I will give you the servant creature.
Then will I lay the serving creature's dagger on your pate. I will carry no crochets. I'll ree you. I'll fie you. Do you note me?
And you ree us, and flaw us, and you note us.
Pray you, put up your dagger and put out your wit.
Then have at you with my wit. I will dry beat you with an iron wit and put up my iron dagger. Answer me like men when gripping grief. The heart doth wound and dofful dubs the mind oppressed. Then music with her silver sound. Why silver sound? Why music with her silver sound? Why say you, Simon Catling?
Marry, sir, because silver have a sweet sound.
Pretty, what say you, Hugh Rayback?
I say silver sound because musicians sound for silver.
Pretty too, what say you, James Soundpost?
Faith, I know not what to say.
Oh, I cry you mercy, you are a singer. I will say for you. It is music with her silver sound, because musicians have no gold for sounding. Then music with her silver sound, with speedy hath doth lends redress.
Exit.
What a pestilent knave is this same?
Hang him, Jack. Come, Will in here. Tarry for the mourners and stay dinner. Exit. Act 4, Scene 1, Mantua, a street. Enter Romeo.
I may trust the flattering truth of sleep. My dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's Lord sits lightly in his throne. And all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when but love's shadows are so rich in joy.
Enter Balthazar, booted.
News from Verona. How now, Balthazar, dost thou bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How fares my Juliet, that I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well. Balthazar?
And she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels' lives. I saw her lay low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it to you. Or pardon me for bringing all these ill news, since you did leave it for my office, sir.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild and do import some misadventure.
Tush, thou art deceived. Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Yet be gone and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight.
Exit Balthazar.
Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means of mischief. Thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary and hereabouts he dwells, which late I noted in tattered weeds with overwhelming brows, calling of simples meager, where his looks sharp misery had worn him to the bones. And in his needy shop a tortoise hung, an alligator stuffed, and other skins of ill-shaped fishes, and about his shelves a beggarly account of empty boxes, green earthen pots, bladders, and musty seeds. Remnants of pack thread and old cakes of roses were thinly scattered to make up a show. Nothing this penury to myself, I said. And if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a caitiff wretch would sell it him. Oh, this same thought did but forerun my need, and this same needy man must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the house. Being holiday, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho, apothecary!
Enter apothecary.
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man, I see that thou art poor. Hold, there is 42 cuts. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath as violently as hasty powder fire doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is deaf to any he that utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness and fierce to die? Famine is in thy cheeks, need and oppression starveth in thine eyes. Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. If you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
There is thy gold. Worst poison to men's souls, doing more murders in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayest not sell. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell. Buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come cordial and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Exit. Scene 2, Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar John.
Holy Francian, Friar, brother ho!
Enter Friar Lawrence.
This same should be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or if his mind be wit, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order to associate me here in the city visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both were in house, where the infectious pestilence did whine, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bear my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again, nor get a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful were they infection.
Unhappy fortune by my brotherhood! The letter was not nice, but full of charge, of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence, get me an iron crow, and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Exit.
Now must I to monument alone. Within 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua, and keep her at my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corse closed in a dead man's tomb.
Exit. Scene 3, a churchyard. In it, a tomb belonging to the Capulets. Enter Paris and his page bearing flowers and a torch.
Give me thy torch, boy. Hence and stand aloof. Yet put it out, for I would not be seen. Under yon yew trees lay thee all along, holding thine ear close to the hollow ground. So shall no foot upon the churchyard tread, being loose, unfirm with digging up of graves, but thou shalt hear it. Whistle then to me as a signal that thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I say, do as I bid thee, go.
I am almost afraid to stand alone here in the churchyard, yet I will adventure. Retires.
Sweet flower, with flowers by thy bridal bed I strew. Oh, woe, thy canopies, dust and stones, which with the sweet water nightly I will do, or wanting that, with tears distilled by moans. The obsequies that I for thee will keep nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep.
The page whistles.
The boy gives warning something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What with the torch? Muffle me, night, a while.
Retires. Enter Romeo and Balthazar with a torch, mattock, and etc.
Give me that mattock and the wrenching iron. Hold, take this letter early in the morning. See thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me the light. Upon thy life I charge thee, whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring, a ring that I must use in dear employment. Therefore hence be gone, but if thou, jealous, dost return to pry in what I further shall intend to do, by heaven I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable far than empty tigers or the roaring sea.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that. Live and be prosperous. And farewell, good fellow.
For all the same, I'll hide me hereabout. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt.
Retires.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food.
Opens the tomb.
This is the banished haughty Montague that murdered a cousin, with which grief it is supposed that fair creature died, and here has come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him.
Comes forward.
Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone. Let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Begone. By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, begone, live, and hereafter say a madman's mercy bade thee run away.
I do defy thy conjurations and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
They fight. Oh Lord, they fight. I will go call the watch. Exit.
Oh, I am slain.
Falls.
If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet.
Dies.
In faith, I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. What said my man when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet, said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad, hearing him talk of Juliet, to think it was so? Give me thy hand, one writ with me in sour misfortune book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? Oh no, a lantern. Slaughtered youth, for here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there, by a dead man interred.
Laying Paris in the tomb.
How oft when men are at the point of death have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death. Oh, how may I call this a lightning? Oh, my love, my wife, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Oh, what more favor can I do to thee than with that hand that cut thy youth in twain to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean, abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here will I remain, with worms that are thy chambermaids. Here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. And arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct, come, unsavory guide. Thou desperate pilot, now at once run on the dashing rocks thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love. True apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus with a kiss I die.
Dies. Enter at the other end of the churchyard, Friar Lawrence with a lantern, crow, and spade. Friar Lawrence.
Saint Francis be my speed, how oft tonight have my old feet stumbled at graves? Who's there?
Here's one, a friend, and one that knows you well.
Bliss be upon you. Tell me, good my friend, what torch is yond that vainly lends his light to grubs and eyeless skulls? As I discern, it burneth in Keppel's monument.
It doth so, holy sir. And there's my master, one that you love.
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long hath he been here?
Full half an hour.
Go with me to the vault.
I dare not, sir. My master knows not but I am gone hence, and fearfully did menace me with death. If I did stay to look on his attempts.
Stay then, I'll go alone. Fear comes upon me. Oh, much I fear some ill unlucky thing.
As I did sleep under his yew tree here, I dreamt my master another fought, and that my master slew him.
Romeo?
Advances.
Alack, alack, what blood is this which stains the stony entrance of this sepulchre? What mean these masterless and gory swords to lie discolored by this place of peace?
Enters the tomb.
Romeo, oh pale, who else? What, Paris too? And steeped in blood, oh, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Juliet awakes.
O comfortable friar, where is thy lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
Noise within.
Lady, come from this nest of death, contagion, an unnatural sleep, a greater power than we can contradict, hath thwarted our intents. Come away. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead, and Paris too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet.
Noise again.
I dare no longer stay.
Go thee hence, for I will not away.
Exit Friar Lawrence.
What's here? Come close to my true love's hand. Poison I see hath been his timeless end. O churl, drunk all and left no friend, get away, friendly drop, to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them to make die with a restorative.
Kisses him.
Thy lips are warm.
Lead boy, which way?
Yea, noise? Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger.
Snatching Romeo's dagger.
This is thy sheath.
Stabs herself.
Ow. There she rests and let me die.
falls on Romeo's body, and dies. Enter watch with the page of Paris. This is the place, there, where the torch doth burn.
The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you, whoever you find attached. Pitiful sight. Here lies the county slain, and Juliet bleeding, warm and newly dead, who here hath lain these 2 days buried. Go tell the prince, run to the Capulets, raise up the Montague, some others search. We see the grounds whereon these woes do lie, but the true ground of all these piteous woes we cannot without circumstance descry.
Re-enter some of the watch with Balthazar. Where is Romeo, man? We found him in the churchyard. Or here's one.
Hold him in safety till the prince come hither.
Re-enter others of the watch with Friar Lawrence.
Here's this friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps. We took that mattock and the spade from him as he was coming from this churchyard side.
A great suspicion. Stay the friar too.
Enter the prince and attendants.
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest?
Enter Capulet, Lady Capulet, and others.
What should it be that they so streak abroad? Born.
The people in the street cry Romeo, some Juliet, and some Paris, and all run with open outcry towards our monument.
What fear is this which startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the county Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before warm, and you killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here's a friar, and slaughtered Romeo's man, with instruments upon him fit to open these dead men's tombs.
O heavens, O wife, look how our daughter bleeds. This dagger hath missened, for lo, his house is empty on the back of Montague, and it's missent in my daughter's bosom.
Oh me, the sight of death is a bell that warns my old age to a, I'm gonna butcher this word, sepulture.
Enter Montague and others.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up, to see thy son and heir more early done. Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age? Look, and thou shalt see. O thou untaught, what manners is in this? To press before thy father to a grave? Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities, and know their spring, their head, their true descent, and then will I be general of your woes, and lead you even to death. Meantime forbear, and let mischance be slave to patience, bring forth the parties of suspicion. I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected, as the time and place doth make against me of this direful murder. And here I stand, both to impeach and purge myself condemned, and myself excused. Then say at once what thou dost know in this. I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo there dead was husband to that of Juliet, and she there dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city, for whom and not for Tybalt Juliet pined. You to remove that siege of grief from her betrothed, and would have married her performance to county Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bids me devise some mean to rid her from the second marriage, or in my cell there she would kill herself. Then gave I her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her to form of death. Meantime I writ to Romeo, that he should hither come as this dire night, to help to take her home from borrowed grave, being the time the potion's force should cease. But he which bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back. Then all alone, at the prefixed hour of her waking, came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell, till I conveniently could send to Romeo, But when I came, some minute ere the time of her waking, here untimely lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her come forth and bear this work of heaven with patience. But then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she, too desperate, would not go with me, but as it seems, did violence to herself. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy, and if aught this miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed some hour before his time unto the rigor of severest law. We will have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death. Then in post he came from Mantua to the same place, same monument. This letter he early bid me give his father, and threatened me with death. Going in the vault, I departed not and left him there.
Give me the letter. I will look out at it. Where in this county's page that raised the watch? Sirrah, what made your master in this place?
He came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon comes one with light to ope the tomb, and by my master drew on him, and then I ran away to call the watch.
This letter doth make good to Friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies, Capulet, Montague? See what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
O brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo by his ladies lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun, for sorrow, will not show his head. Go hence. To have more talk of these sad things, some shall be pardoned and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Exit.
Thank you guys. That was fantastic. And I'm sorry my cat stole my dying scene. Fucking diva. What? You guys
Viva.
were amazing. Let me